working on the October sketch for you to try. This is a monthly sketch from reverseconfetti.com. You should always play along because you get the chance to win some moolah to spend in the Reverse Confetti store. And it's always a really fun sketch that you can keep quite clean and simple if that's your style, or layer it up and add a little bit more embellishment like I'm going to today. So while I work on the sketch, I'm going to talk about some of the Reverse Confetti confetti cuts and the way that they're designed to work together. So let's get started. So first I'm going to use this long thin layer, and I have just cut a strip of cardstock for that and rounded the corners because, as you'll see, a lot of the elements I'm using today have rounded corners already, so I sort of want them to match. Now I always look at sketches and try and work out which dies I can use with them. I love dies, I love confetti cuts especially. So this layer here, although it's quite long and thin, it's always acceptable to sort of switch out for whatever shape you might want to use. So I'm going to keep it a rectangle, but I'm going to use this scalloped rectangle from the Love Note set. And this is one of the first dies I wanted to talk about. So this is the main die, and I'm going to use it here. Now this is another thing I like to do when I'm working on sketches, is sometimes I'll just lay down the dies themselves to work out sort of placement and what I'm going to do, rather than cutting right away. So you might not know, but the Love Note confetti cut also works with the Class Act confetti cuts. Now these are designed to work with the Class Act stamp set, of course, but this rectangle right here fits perfectly within that die. So if you didn't know that already, and you probably did, but if you didn't already, that's designed to work there. But you might not know that there are even more dies designed to work with those two, and those are the Pretty Panels dies. There are 4 so far. It's fabulous stars, the chevron stripe, triangles, and the stripe, diagonal stripe, I think that one's called. I should have it written down. I haven't labelled all my dies yet. I need to. So these are all designed to fit inside this Love Note die, which is awesome. It gives you so many different looks, and that's what I've done today. So here's the one I've cut. Now I've cut the Love Note with this fun back paper, and I'll get it up the right way, otherwise I'll be in trouble. And then over top I've used the diagonal stripe, and I just cut that from black cardstock and I've stitched it around the edges. So that's a really quick and easy way, if you like a lot of layers, or even if you want just a little bit more detail on your card, quick and easy way to add like a bit of a layer and a little bit of visual interest, and then stitching it on, or even just adhering it down, or sometimes I'll just use enamel dots to sort of stick it down as well if I'm being a bit lazy. It's a really quick and easy way to get a layer on your card. So next, for the circle layer, of course I reached for the circles and scallops confetti cut sets. Now this is 4, so I'm going to show you. There are the 2 scalloped pieces and then the 2 circles, and they have these really great embossed edges. Now if you have, or if you don't have these confetti cuts already, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. You want to stay tuned to Reverse Confetti on World Card Making Day in just a few days time in October, and you might find a new use for these dies. So that'll be exciting. But I'm going to use this larger circle here, and I've actually already cut it out just to save time, so you don't have to waste time watching me cut things out. But what I'm going to do, one of my favourite tricks with these dies that have a nice border, is just to take a little bit of ink and go around the edges while the die is still sitting inside, or while the die cut is still sitting inside the die. Doesn't want to spin for me. And then I'll just give you a nice, sorry the camera's probably shaking there, a nice sponged edge with a clean border when you take that away. Now my stamps today, I'm going to use the new Cast a Spell set. Being October, it's always fun to make Halloween projects, and this also has a really great die set that cuts some of the pieces. I love this witch. I'm not using her today, but she's fantastic. So I'm going to use this sentiment, if the broom fits, ride it. I'm just going to ink it out with a bit of Memento Lux in Morocco. And that is going to be this circular panel. It's already got adhesive on it because I'm trying to be quick. So I'm going to stick that all together and then we'll carry on. Okay, so now you can see I have the main elements of the sketch adhered down. And I never hesitate to add a little bit of extra embellishment or a few little accessory images or whatever overlapping the sketch. As long as the main elements of the sketch are there and you can see you know where the sketch comes from, or that you've actually used the sketch, it's fine. It's just a jumping off point for creativity, really. So don't be afraid to add little bits and pieces that maybe overhang different layers or whatever you like, especially with all these layered die cuts and that. It's so fun to add a little bit of extra interest. So then I've used the witch's hat from the set and also the broom, and they were super easy to cut out with the matching confetti cuts. And then I think I've put a little bit of stickles on the brim or the trim of her hat there, and I think I'm going to add a little bit more sparkle maybe with these little jeweled doohickey things, if they'll come off. I don't know, I like a little bit of sparkle on a Halloween card. And I think that's it. I may go ahead and add a little button. I'll have a look at that once the video is finished, and I'll show you the finished card in the end. But I may add a wee button somewhere as well. I have also finished the inside of this card already through the magic of doing things before I turn the video camera on. So on the inside here I have used, this is another die that is just fantastic for layering behind things, or this is the double edge scallop border. I've used the larger edge, so I felt like it matched my design a little bit better, and I've used the, is it a raven or a crow from the Cast a Spell set there as well, and that also has a wee matching die to cut him out really easily. So that's my card using the new Sketch for You to Try. Remember, check out the Reverse Confetti blog on World Card Making Day for a bit of a sneaky peek at something possibly that works with the circles and scallops confetti cuts. Thank you for watching. Bye!